All right, you guys. This your boy back at y'all with another one. Let's get right down to business. As a couple days ago, Herschel Walker comes out in a meeting with Congress about the HR 40 bill. Now, if you don't know what the HR 40 bill, that's reparations for Black people, right? And Herschel Walker basically came out and opposed reparations for Black people, right? Said Black Americans shouldn't get reparations, right? Now, this dude on Wednesday led conservative resistance to slavery reparation during a congressional hearing. Walker, who played in the old USFL and NFL over 15 years, said reparations might require Black Americans to use genetics company 23andMe to calculate their pay by percentage of ancestry. He argued African Americans were also involved in the slave trade, which the U.S. abolished in 1885. Right? Walker, who campaigned for former President Donald Trump last year, said he poses reparations for both practical and moral reasons. And this is what he said, right? We use Black people to create white guilt. My approach is biblical. How can I ask my Heavenly Father to forgive me if I can't forgive my brother? Right? And here we go with the supreme buck dancing. All right? Here we go with the buck dancing. All right? I mean, this is like epic buck dancing right here, man. You know what I'm saying? America is the greatest country in the world for me, a melting pot of great races, a lot of great minds that have came together with great ideas to make Americans the greatest country on earth. Many have died trying to get into America. No one is dying to get out. Reparations, where does the money come from? Does it come from all other races except the Black taxpayers? Who is Black? What percentage of Black must you be to receive reparations? Do you go to 23andMe or a DNA test to determine the percentage of Blackness? Some American ancestors just came to this country 80 years ago. Their ancestors weren't even here during slavery. Some Black immigrants weren't here during slavery, nor their ancestors. Some states didn't even have slavery. See, this is the kind of shit that we don't need to have. We don't need to have buck dancers like him speaking for us. Because think about it this way, y'all. The Holocaust, right? When the Jewish people were getting killed in concentration camps, that didn't happen here in the United States. That happened in Germany, and yet somehow we're paying reparations to Jewish people. And that incident happened in Germany, but yet we can't even get reparations for slavery that happened here in the United States. When you got supreme buck dancers like goddamn Herschel Walker running his mouth and shit, and that's by design, okay? You think Herschel Walker Look, they called Herschel Walker up for this fucking meeting, okay? What you got on this, Eric? Because I'm about to go way, before I go way in, I want to get your thoughts on this, man.
It shames me as a Georgia resident to have a nigga like that representing the University of Georgia, man. Like, it shames me, man, because, like, as much as I loved him at the University of Georgia, him as a human being, he's a piece of shit. I would never wear a fucking Herschel Walker jersey as long as I'm a Georgia football fan. This nigga here is a terrible example of the black race. Like, they get niggas like this. A nigga like that is born every day in America. They would do anything, and I do mean anything, for white zaddy. And it's shame me that you got people like this in our community being in high power positions when you got people out here actually fighting for our people that should actually be in those positions. But it's typical that they'll get a buck dancing nigga like that to say no to reparations because he got his money. But what about everybody else in the community? What about us that's struggling, working 9-to-5 jobs, ain't even making over $30,000+ a year and up? We can't get help like that. Hell, half of us can't even get fucking food stamps because they say we make too much. So that goes to show you that a nigga like that will never be nothing in the black community. Okay, you got people down here in Georgia. Let's say he was the greatest thing at the University of Georgia since sliced bread. Yeah, that might be true though, but like look at him outside of the football realm. Look at the shit that he's been doing. Look how he was buck dancing up there for Donald Trump. Look what the nigga doing now with the HR 40 bill, talking about we ain't just gonna do a study on it. We gonna get a nigga like Herschel Walker to tell y'all niggas that want reparations why y'all don't need to have reparations. You give Jewish people fucking reparations for the Holocaust. They didn't last for 400 plus years. They only lasted for about 4+ years. You give fucking Japanese people reparations for the bombs over Hiroshima. I mean, Asian people ain't been through a lot of shit as much as black people. You're giving everybody else money. You're giving a legal immigrant green card because you're trying to flip the election in the next couple of years. You're giving everybody else money. But when black people trying to do something, trying to get out here and fight for reparations, you're getting niggas like this to represent the black community. A buck dancing nigga like that just ain't the black community. It's millions of us. Hell, not even billions of us worldwide who actually want to see something for our people. But they get niggas like that to try to counter attack the shit that we need to do. That's what the white man do. He'll come in our community and get a buck dancing nigga like Herschel Walker to do the counter attack.
He's control. Herschel Walker is what we like to call control opposition, y'all. He is control opposition. All right. Now let's continue on what this motherfucker said. Right. He asked his mom, who's in her mid-80s, thoughts on reparation. Her words: "She do not believe in reparation. Who is the money going to go to? Has anyone thought about paying the families who lost someone in the Civil War, who fought for their freedom?" The football star said his mother told him that reparations are akin to the proverb that get someone a fish rather than teach them how to fish for themselves. Reparations only feeding you for a day. What? Really, Herschel Walker?
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of, hold on, when we're getting reparations, right, how is that feeding us for a day? When the kind of money we're looking for is going to feed us for a lifetime. See, this is stupid ass shit I'm talking about. This motherfucker right here ain't speaking for me. He sure as hell not speaking for Eric Johnson, and he sure as hell not speaking for my boy Too Raw for TV. Shout out to the homie, right? He's control opposition. Walker also questioned who was at fault for slavery. Here we go with this coon shit, right? What's up, Jacob Jan? Salute to the homie.
They Kanye West mentality.
Here we go with this coon shit. Here we go. Who's the guilty party? Should we start at the beginning where African Americans sold your African American ancestors in slavery and to a slave trader who eventually sold African ancestors to slave owners? He concluded he feel it continues to let us know we still African Americans rather than just American. Reparation or atonement is outside the teaching of Jesus Christ. Jackson Lee said that Black Lives Matter protests last year featured signs of support at HR 40, and now the time is right to set up the commission. So let me get this straight. Why we got to have commissions now? So let me get this straight. When fucking Jewish people got their reparations, they didn't need no goddamn committee. They just cut the check. When Japanese people, we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima while ignoring the fact they dropped the bomb at Pearl Harbor first. That's how we got into World War II in the first place, because the United States was a neutral country prior to that. When it came to World War II, the United States was a goddamn neutral country until Japan came in and dropped the bomb on December 7th, 1941, and that's how we got into World War II. So we dropped the bomb on their native land. We paying them reparations. Gay people getting reparations, right? They ain't had no study. They ain't had no fucking committee. They just cut the check. But all of a sudden, when we ask for something tangible, oh, we got to have studies, and we got to have all these scientists come in, and we got to have 23andMe. Shut the fuck up with that goddamn 23andMe shit, Herschel Walker. What percent? Look, it don't fucking matter what percentage of black you have to be to get reparation, because Jewish people, hey, when they're putting all those Jewish people in concentration camps and all that, they ain't worried about, oh, you're only 10% Jewish, you're good to go. Or you're 80% Jewish, you got to come with us. They didn't do that shit. If you were Jewish or not, they put your ass in those concentration camps. and that incident didn't happen in the United States, they still got their fucking reparations. They got a healthy dose of reparations. And yet, when we ask for our tangibles, when we ask for reparations, they run out a token, control opposition nigga like goddamn Herschel Walker. And yes, that's what you are. A buck dancing, Istanbul sellout bitch. I don't give a fuck what you running around here doing 6-pack look like you doing Tybo with Bully Blanks. Fuck all that. You're a goddamn sellout. You don't speak for me. Who the fuck is you to run your mouth up here and talk about, well, we black people, we need to set ourselves up by the bootstraps. And, y'all, I don't believe in reparations because, my Heavenly Father taught me that I need to forgive my brother. Well, you know what? That same brother is trying to kill me every chance he fucking get. And I'm not going to sit up here and try to reason with a no-white supremacist, bull jangling, buck dancing, just so I can get some fucking crumbs off the table. Bitch, we built the fucking table.
Built the table, built the house, built every fucking thing. And it goes, and I'm glad you brought this shit up, because when the nigga was talking, when you were saying something about it earlier, you were saying that reparations will only last a day, motherfucker. A $600 stimulus check only lasts a couple seconds. Rent costs more than that, motherfucker. A $1,400 stimulus check ain't gonna last that long. Somebody's car note might cost more than that. So how the fuck do you know that reparations only gonna last a day? Hell, even if it does last a day, so you say, motherfucker, I want to know. I would like to know. I would like to have some money in my bank account, motherfucker. I would like to see how Jewish people felt when they got their fucking money. I would like to see when Japanese people felt when they got their fucking money. Hell, I like to see when illegal fucking immigrants who fucking up the country feel when they get their damn money and don't have to pay taxes. But black people got to pay for every damn thing. You can't even get no damn loans. And even when we get loans, you're raising the credit up, so we're going to have to pay extra money on it. You try to go buy a house, you don't have to worry about the police trying to see if you in the wrong neighborhood. You might be a successful businessman just trying to buy a house for your family. And you got fucking cops coming up trying to just see what the hell you doing. What you doing over here, nigga? You trying to break in the house? I'm watching you, boy. You see everybody else get something, but black people got to fight tooth and fucking nail to try to get some damn money. But everybody, and I'm not saying every race of people, always want to come and see what black folks are doing. Mind your fucking business. Black people got enough shit going on with these buck dancing ass niggas out here talking about we don't need reparations. You can do a study on everything else, but you trying to do a study on reparations, ain't no fucking consideration about it. You owe us money. Get down and lay down. Y'all need to give us our damn money.
Yeah, everybody talking. Look, if you want to do a study or something, do a study on a fucking hamster to see how fast he can run on a fucking the little mini Ferris wheel that you're stuck in the cage on. If you want to do a fucking study, hey, how long does it take for a snake to shed its skin? If you want to do a fucking study, don't come in when it comes to reparations. We need to study and we need to come up with a comprehensive, and we need to have all these committees. Get the fuck out of here. Committee these nuts.
Motherfuckers giving money to
What up, LB?
What you got on this, man?
Oh my God! Just that for him saying we do not take care of our own. Like how the heck you think we got this far, Mr. Walker, without us unifying? You're having to rebuild over and over, business, home, neighbor, destroyed by people who envy our progress. Because who this committed together? Like I'm saying, what is Herschel Walker doing our panel for reparation? Like, when did these athletes become approval on political, business, law, and treatments and restoration panels? Like who is this? Who is this person? This is not the person that I watch. This is not the person that my uncle used to watch him in Georgia. This is not the person who sees him and playing for the Cowboys. This is not the Herschel Walker that I know. Because he's clearly the wrong guy for the job. Since he's been struggling to find information about slavery and evidence that support the restoration. Because he's that one black guy on the planet that never heard about slavery.
Shout out to Sketchy Peasant in the building, man. I like him, man. Hey, Sketchy Peasant, I'm about to give you a wrench, all right? But go ahead. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I'm like, why do athletes like him on this subject? This is how you know they're not taking this seriously. Because knowing each other's race have athletes and trainers talk for community, only in the black race. Because I don't want him to represent me. Just nobody don't want to be like him.
I don't want him.
Sell out.
I don't want to represent the University of Georgia no more.
Definitely, you sell out. You selling out to us. Like you selling out to kiss the white man ass. You know that
definitely. And he know about racism coming from the University of Georgia. They only like you nigga because you was running people over back in the 80s. If you weren't that good, they wouldn't even thought about you at the University of Georgia.
Yeah. And then if you look, so I'm gonna pull up the HR 40 bill, right? Because an immigrant and Sheila Jackson Lee, and yes, Sheila Jackson Lee's an immigrant, right? We're gonna read this HR 40 reparations bill, right? Now there's a lot of word salad in here, so we gotta cut through all the word salad and get to the gist of it, right? Because this man, look, and if you really read this HR 40 bill, there's a whole lot of holes that's in it. Before I get to that, right? There's another congressman that's in Utah who is black. I thought the only people that were black in Utah were players for the Utah Jazz. I didn't know they actually had black people in goddamn Utah that doesn't play for the Utah Jazz. Burgess Owens. Reparations would amount to socialism and were impractical. He says unfair and heartless to give black people hope that is a reality. What the fuck are you talking about? The reality is that black history is not a hapless, hopeless race oppressed by a more powerful white race. Instead, histories of millions of middle and wealthy class black Americans throughout the early 20th century achieving the American. What the fuck does that got to do with us getting reparations? What they got to do with anything about reparations? Just because a few black people happened to grab the proverbial brass string that all of a sudden now we're just supposed to forget about the millions of other blacks that are struggling right now through no fault of their own. Shout out to the homie, Coach Shelton Harris in the building. I appreciate you for being here. That's the homie. Hey, go subscribe to this channel. If you want to learn about MMA and boxing, that's the main place right there. I get a lot of my knowledge from there. I tell you right now, because man, that's the legend right there, Coach Shelton Harris, man, the legend. Appreciate you for being up in here. But really though, come on now, come on. And then let's pull up the HR 40 bill, right? The HR 40 bill talking about reparations, right? There's all kind of holes in this goddamn bill, right? All kinds of holes in this thing. Now, we all know who Sheila Jackson Lee is. She's the representative out there in Texas, man, right? And a whole bunch of immigrants that was in this thing, right? Commissioned to study and develop reparations. Why are we studying reparations? See, that's that bullshit Kamala Harris was out there spewing out when she tried to run for president a couple years ago. Well, we need to study reparations. What the fuck are we studying? This ain't no goddamn exam. If I wanted to study for something, I can study for Security Plus so I get my Security Plus cert so I can be in the IT field, right? If I want to study for something, I can study how can I become a better person through mental and physical health and all that. If I want to be a better cook, I'll go to a chef, right? Hey, how many cups of sugar it take to make the Kool-Aid sweet, right? But yet we want to study reparations? Study reparations, man. Get the fuck out of here. Talk about studying reparations. And then why would you even study reparations when you got bootlicks like Danny Glover and Herschel Walker or Jonathan Capehart, right? That motherfucking gay dude to the 10th power, right? Oh, well, we don't need reparations. All we need is an apology. That's what that motherfucker said a couple years ago when they had the reparations
We
hearing
might not
on
need it,
Juneteenth.
Mm.
And then this the thing.
I just want to say something about that.
Boy.
Sorry about it.
Let's go. Right? This thing already got holes in it. And I first learned about this video by the Bottom Line Santee Walton. So if you have not subscribed to the Bottom Line Santee Walton, another brother who puts it out, tells the truth, don't give a fuck who get mad and all that, I highly recommend you subscribe to the Bottom Line Santee Walton. All right. Now, so let's go through this shit, right? Congress finds that 4 million Africans and their descendants were enslaved in the United States and colonies that became the United States from 1619 to 1865. Slavery was constitutionally and statutorily sanctioned by the government of the United States from 1789 to 1865, right? So let me get this straight. The Holocaust only happened for 4 years and they got their money. No questions asked, no studies, no nothing. They just cut them the check. So from so-called 1789 through 1865, right? But this the thing though, even after they so-called abolished slavery in 1865, the action still continued to this very day.
Yep, the slave trade.
But yet, we need to study reparations, right? You got these controlled opposition bootlicking Negroes like goddamn Jonathan Capehart, Herschel Walker, Danny Glover, and a list of others. That's what to sit here and tell us that we don't need reparations. Says who? Who died and made you some kind of representative and shit? Who died? Slavery that flourished in the United States constituted
they might not
more
need it,
inhumane.
but shit, you don't speak for everybody else.
Exactly. The slavery that flourished in the United States constituted immoral, inhumane deprivation of Africans' life, liberty, African citizenship rights, cultural heritage, and denied them fruits of their own labor, right? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other words sounding
wasting paper. Wasting paper.
Wasting paper, man.
I don't even want to hear that shit. Where the money at?
This is the thing, y'all. Remember, this is a waste of fucking paper. And do y'all, like, whoever wrote this bill, right? Do they get paid by the work? Do they get paid by the letter? For real.
They must get paid by the letter.
Do they get paid by the letter?
I don't know.
Because this is a complete waste of paper.
It gotta be. It gotta be that.
13 members must be appointed with 90 days of the act.
And HR bills that don't meet no sense.
The 3 members should be appointed by the president. 3 members should be appointed by the Speaker of the House. So let me get this straight. So now you got all these white supremacists now picking the people who's going to be in charge of reparations. Look at this shit, right? Jim Crow Joe is going to appoint 3 members. Nancy Pelosi is going to appoint 3 members, right? 1 member should be appointed by the president pro tempore of the Senate. And I think that's Kamala Harris.
Whoever made this bill, if they weren't, I know they definitely weren't black, because they, like, when it comes to reparations, you shouldn't have white supremacist motherfuckers making bills and shit like that, because you already know they're gonna bring the coons out.
It's not. So I'm gonna run through this real quick. Look at this, y'all. So 3 members should be appointed by Joe Biden. 3 members are being appointed by Nancy Pelosi. 1 member is going to be appointed by Patrick Leahy. He's the president pro tempore of the Senate. Patrick Leahy. All 3 of them got in common. They're all 3 are white supremacists and whatnot. But yeah, these are going to be the people that's going to pick and choose who is going to lead this reparations package. When Joe Biden actually came out and opposed the shit himself when he first got elected, he went on that goddamn Zoom call with all this so-called black leadership, right? Goddamn Reverend Al Sharpton and the so-called leader of the NAACP who's fucking worthless, and all them other Legion of Buck dancers, and all them other, the Butter Biscuit Brigade. All them sitting out there, Joe Biden dressing their ass down, ain't nobody saying shit about this. But yeah, we're gonna come up with a bill. But Joe Biden's gonna
was like
Joe
Nate Dogg
Biden's
warned
gonna
you, he
select
had to
who's gonna be
regulate.
part of this reparations committee, right? When he flat out oppose it. So I got a so yes, if you want to see why I have a problem with this bill, right? I have a serious problem with this bill. This should not be some kind of commission to study and develop reparations and all that. When the actions still continue. And how does the action continue, you ask? Yeah, we're not in literal chains, and we're not out here in the cotton fields and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Crossing the gun line and getting shot and having bloodhounds looking for us and shit. No. But how does the action continue my actions despite the fact we in 2021? I can explain how the action still continue. The action still continue through the police officers, right? When we're getting gunned down, shut up, nothing happened to these guys, and yet you got these black, agents like goddamn Candace Owens running her mouth about people who are victims being out to be perpetrators, but yet there's systemic racism going on through the courts. There's systemic racism going on through economics. There's systemic racism going on through the medical field and the hospitals and all that, right? And I'm not like if I'm lying, somebody let me know. If I'm lying, somebody tell me if I'm lying.
I ain't heard you say nothing wrong since you started that damn live stream.
Sterling Young, you think I'm lying?
Nope. Always keep it facts, 100.
They do it through the news also. This is how they do it through the news, right? A black person gets gunned down by these police officers and all that. Then we will bring up the guy's history, like he's on drugs, if he, he was a womanizer and all this other type of stuff, right? Just assassinate his character right there on TV. But if a white person does the same exact thing, then they go on to do this. Well, we need to look at the guy's history, and he has a lot of problems, and we need to be really sympathetic towards him, and he needs to get treatment. Treatment.
Motherfucker ended up killing 10 people. Oh, he didn't mean to. He didn't take his medication that day. You don't know how he got his AR-15. He just went into school and killed 15 people, and then after that, we take him to Burger King. But we're gonna make sure he gets better.
Yeah, we get discriminated against. Look, if you got it, look, do y'all know? And this is for black women, right? Do you know if you have a certain name, right? Say like you fill out a resume or a job application, whatever like that, right? They won't hire you if you carry certain names like Shaniqua or Bonquisha and all that. They're not going to hire you, and that's by design.
Rhonda. You gotta have a white woman's name. You gotta have a white woman name like Sarah.
You can have all the marriage in the world. You can have all the marriage. You can check all the boxes. But if you have a certain name, they will not hire you because there's this perception about you. They don't know you from Adam, but yet you carry a certain name. They will not hire you. You won't even get an interview. They'll take your application and your resume and they'll put it in the shredder.
Yep, or put it at the bottom. No, well, we're not hiring.
Or this position's been filled.
You'll be lucky. Yeah, you'll be lucky if you have a white person's name. Then they still probably won't hire you.
Yeah, see, Sketchy Peasant know what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. Look what he said. They did a study with identical names with black and white names. White names were called for interviews at a much higher rate. He knows what I'm talking about.
Ain't lying. And you might have more qualifications than them other motherfuckers, but they still won't hire you. Oh, I don't want to hire this nigga. He's too educated. He got all the qualifications. So I know that he can do the job, but I'm just going to hire this white dude who got less experience and less qualifications. He might not know how to do the job, but we could train him to make him better.
Yeah, and then when they do want to hire somebody that's black, you know, they throw all these stipulations and they throw all this criteria at him. You know, he's basically become controlled opposition, like Stephen A. Smith, right? He quick to trash a black dude about whatever issue, right? But when it comes, so let me get this straight, because this is how Stephen A. Smith operate, right? When Martavis Bryant got busted for now Martavis Bryant played college football at Clemson, played his professional career at for the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever like that, right? Martavis got busted smoking some of that ganja, you know what I'm saying? Some of that ooh-wee, that sticky yicky, right? When he got busted for doing that and he got suspended by the NFL, Stephen A. Smith was lambasting him on TV. And then when it came out that he went to a high school to teach kids about right and wrong, he's wagging his finger at Martavis Bryant, talking about, you don't need to be at no school. You don't need to, just wagging his finger at him, right? Just kicking the man while he down, right?
You don't need to be talking about him like that.
Justin Turner, who plays baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers,
when they get in trouble.
Justin Turner plays baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers, right? Now, during the whole COVID-19 pandemic, the Dodgers won the World Series, right? Now, in the seventh inning in that game, Justin Turner learned that he tested positive for COVID-19, and they pulled him off the field. He was not supposed to be out there near the team at all. He was supposed to be in quarantine. Instead, he goes right back out in the field, hugging people, no mask on, holding trophies and all that shit. And what Stephen A. Smith do? Well, it was the World Series, and he needed to be out there with his team. I'm like, this motherfucker right here. The epitome of a fucking fuck
to the end of killing his teammates. See, this is why I wish that we had them Coon Awards, man, because these niggas need to be regulated, man, for all this niggatry they be doing. Year after year, they be on here just saying some stupid shit. Then when you have real brothers like me, you, and the other brother on the panel, then they want to get mad. You shouldn't be out here cooning. If you actually did your job right, nigga, we won't be saying nothing.
You know what? Hey, what's up, J-Dog? Salute to my homie J-Dog in the building, man. Y'all go subscribe to J-Dog FBA. Hey, my other homie, LVZ, right? LVZ NBA Talk, right? I remember he was on my live stream about back in June. And what he said was the absolute honest to God truth. These football players are the biggest fucking coons, man. Football players are the biggest. You look. You know Daniel Cameron, like the Kentucky Fried Cool Man from 11 Herbs and Spices. That dude, right? You know he played football at the University of Louisville. You know that, Eric?
I wouldn't know because they always been garbage to me, so I never know because they football team always been garbage, so I wouldn't know if the Knicks played or not.
The football players are the biggest fucking coons, man. Jim Brown been a coon to the 10th power. He stayed cooning. And yet they run out Herschel Walker. And this the thing, y'all. All these black bootlegs and all these sellouts and whatnot, what's the one thing they have in common? They all dress like Donald Trump. When fucking Herschel Walker was running around here going on this diatribe for Donald Trump, right? During the case, he got invited to the Republican National Committee. So let me get this straight. Candace Owens couldn't get an invite to the Republican National Convention, not the committee, convention. Candace Owens, and you know how much of a coon ass bitch Candace Owens is, and she couldn't get an invite to the Republican National Convention, but Herschel Walker can. Herschel Walker. So that tells you right there that Herschel Walker is even a bigger sellout than she is. And trust me, Candace Owens is a fucking sellout, okay? That bitch is a fucking sellout. But that just goes to show you that Herschel Walker's sellout,
crazy, man.
his level of sellout is even more intensified. That bitch is on steroids.
He really was. So,
And he spoke at the Republican National Convention. He looked like Donald Trump. He had the Donald Trump on. He had the navy suit with the white shirt and a red tie. And a clean-shaven face.
I've been knowing Donald Trump for over 30
quintessential
years.
token Negro.
I have never heard. I was surprised he went up there crying like Van Jones bitch ass was. I was like, this nigga ain't crying already.
Man. Don't get me started on Van Jones or
It's
stuff.
the greatest thing that ever happened to America.
And
Can't stand that nigga,
man. And Van Jones, and then there's rumors of him dating Kim Kardashian and all that. But that's another subject for another day.
yeah.
And right before I get back on topic, right? You can tell Van Jones is dating. Look, you see this motherfucker. You see the motherfucking images on Google. That motherfucker was cheesing from ear to ear. That motherfucker had all his big ass horse teeth
looking
showing.
at her ass and shit. Like, oh, I'm about to get up in that now. Nigga,
big
teeth
ass
sounding like
horse
some
teeth.
diamonds, dog.
Cheesing from ear to ear. But he crying on TV. That's my president.
Get it, I'm gonna just slide in. My boys,
I wouldn't be surprised if he was crying tears of joy when he first got in that pussy. But yeah, this motherfucking bill right here, this bill right here is some bullshit from 1619 to 1865. So let me get this straight. So the first bill, right? The first part of the bill talks about slavery in the United States from 1789 to 1865. Then you go later on in here, and it talks about something that happened in 1619. Where is it at? I can't believe I just lost.
So they were saying slavery. So they saying slavery in the United States was going on from 1789.
Compile and synthesize the relevant corpus of evidentiary documentation of institutional slavery which existed within the United States and the colonies that became the United States from 1619 to 18. Hold on, the United States didn't become a country until like the 1700s. So where the fuck is this 1619 shit come from? Either way, this bill is some bullshit, okay? This HR 40 bill is some bullshit. And then, because this is by design. This shit right here is by design, man. Herschel Walker is nothing more than control opposition, man. They call Herschel Walker up, and Herschel Walker went on that big old Zoom, went on that Zoom meeting, right? Because if they really wanted to, right, they can call me, they can call you, they can call Sterling Young, they can call my boy J-Dog, they can call Jacob Jen, they can call anybody if they really wanted to through their representative. But yet they run out this token Negro, a guy that they probably slid money under the table to spew out his opposition for reparations and all that. Like, we don't deserve those Look, if you don't want your reparations, that's fine. Good for you. God bless you. But you don't speak for me. Yeah. You don't speak for Eric Johnson.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Let's talk about another thing, right? Yeah, because I brought this up a while back. So the same veterans, right? Sketchy Peasant, man, I'm telling you, man, that you dropping some heat in this motherfucker today. Because he's telling the truth. When we were in World War II, right? When we out there fight, remember when we got the bomb dropped on us and got dang on in Pearl Harbor, right? And we had to go out there and fight World War II. We fought World War II along with the white counterparts in the military, right? How did they get homes and the same black people that fought in the same war with them didn't? Do they talk about Black World War II veterans not being allowed to purchase homes
Motherfuckers
like
didn't
their
even
white
want black people
counterparts?
out there
The
fighting.
middle class and their wealth through housing, and blacks have been denied housing forever. Exactly. Man, Sketchy Peasant dropping some heat in here today. Yeah, if y'all want to donate to the channel, man, this is my Cash App, this is my PayPal right there, man. But straight up, man, he's telling the truth. They got the blacks that fought the same war as the white counterparts got denied housing, while the white counterparts, they got free houses, they got free, the GI Bill, that's thing known as the GI Bill, they got free education, they practically got the whole fucking key to the goddamn castle. Short of that. But yet the black people didn't get shit. Well, of course they're not going to talk about that.
They'll give you some medals and shit and expect you to be proud of that, but everything you sacrifice over there, losing your brothers and shit, man, some of them white motherfuckers didn't even want black people in the army. And Vietnam veterans, black Vietnam veterans can't even get help with their post-traumatic stress disorders and shit. Do they get any money from fighting in those wars and stuff? You see other countries taking care of their soldiers and shit when they've been in wars and stuff. Why can't America do the same damn thing? It don't make no sense since you're supposed to be the greatest country in the world and you got people, especially black people, going out there in foreign countries that ain't never did shit to black people. You want us to go out there and fight in a war that you motherfuckers started, but y'all don't expect us to get nothing in return.
For me, you know, the bill thing is like the racists trying to fix the racism is a double negative. Man, y'all making it worse. Like y'all throwing up y'all pouring on the gasoline on fire, making it more worse. Because you need to wait, because they trying to say, "Oh, wake up, join the race." Like I ain't joining the shit. Like, where's my money? Where's my free money? You know, because people they so quick. Them race people they quick to say, "Oh, black people don't deserve," but yet y'all still okay funding these white Americans. Because the same argument can be made. Because not supporting them, why this bill is being studied? It's hypocrites.
And then this is another thing. I think I talked about this on one of my other streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're gentrifying our neighborhoods. You know, the neighborhoods that did like all the neighborhoods that did gentrify have been black. I've not seen them going out one white suburban neighborhood and gentrifying that. But racism don't exist, right? Racism don't exist here in America, but yet they a woman who's been in her house 50 years, raised her children there. Her children brought her, raising her grandchildren there, right? She can now all of a sudden now, just because of some zoning law, do some backdoor deals in oil fields type shit. Now all of a sudden now, this woman who's been in this house for 50 years, house is paid off, everything, she does everything right, and all of a sudden now she got to get kicked out of her home so they can build a mall there, or they can build whatever or some kind of corporate building there, right? Then the areas they're not gentrifying, right? They just leave for all the drugs and gangs to come in and infiltrate. That makes the property value go down, so that when someone goes in and buys the land, they can buy the land at a cheaper rate. Then at that point, they can kick them out their homes, and then they can build all kinds of goddamn, corporate buildings and all this other shit, shopping malls and a Walmart or whatever else they want to build there, a car dealership, whatever, right? Shout out to the Maximus Royalty in the building. Salute to you, little brother. For real. Come on now. This shit's by design. And look, they think motherfuckers are stupid around here. All this shit here is by design. And yet when we ask for something, when we ask for tangibles,
I'm in a college town and shit.
Go ahead.
I was saying you right about that. Cause I'm in a college town. I've been around a lot of college students, so they stay building stuff for them. But I don't never be seeing a lot of stuff built for like black people and stuff. We got certain businesses, our regular barbershops, our beauty salons and stuff, and restaurants and stuff. But a majority of stuff in Athens is for these white kids and stuff, because these college students gonna buy some of everything. But like you don't really see a lot of certain stuff that be here for like a good portion of black people and stuff. So they're gonna be building like different housing complexes for these students to come in and stuff. And half of the time, you'll probably see a good majority of black people in them houses, but you'll still see a good amount of white people in them houses. But like we'll have to be in like the projects and stuff, or like in certain areas in Athens that be like real bad areas going.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Sketchy Peasant, man, he's dropping some heat in here today, man. Hey, man, just like what we said, realtors will score whites, then blacks moved in, buy houses at low prices, sell them to blacks at extremely high prices. Yeah. Oh, scared. Realtors were scared whites, and then when blacks moved in, yeah. But yeah, you absolutely telling the truth, man. You are absolutely positively telling the truth. He sees what's going on.
Scared of black people don't bother nobody, y'all.
Yeah, nobody like tell us down to like our neighborhood seen this it's crap or something. I be like, I was like Swiss size. I'm like, let's see if you was in that, if you was in our neighborhood, our neighborhood, you say our poor neighborhood, I bet you won't even make it.
Most of them couldn't survive like that.
Couldn't
Some
survive.
of them have been in tough environments like that, but a majority of them wouldn't even survive like that, man.
Couldn't survive like that. And
they couldn't survive like that.
Wasn't bad about our neighbor. You talking about our neighborhood, our culture.
See, the thing is, this is my thing. It's hard already enough fighting white supremacy on its own. But it's even harder to fight white supremacy when you got black bootlicks like goddamn Herschel Walker run his fucking mouth. And his gay ass son.
Yeah, he's fruity ass.
Was it The Color of Law?
I'm telling you, they make niggas like that right every day, man. So
this is the book that Sketchy Peasant was talking about, called The Color of Law: A Forgotten History of How Our Government Segregated America. I'm definitely going to buy that book because it tells the truth about it tells the truth about a lot of this stuff. And this is the talk about some extras from that book. Let me pull it up. Let me share the screen on this real quick, right? And this is the summary of The Color of Law. Undisguised. So it documents how American cities from San Francisco to Boston has became so racially divided as federal, state, and local governments systematically imposed residential segregation with undisguised racial zoning, public housing that purposely segregated previously mixed communities, subsidies for builders to create white-only suburbs, tax exemptions for institutions that enforce segregation, official support for violent resistance to African American and white neighborhoods, state licensing for real estate brokers who code prohibited racial mixing, state and federal courts evicting African Americans who moved to white neighborhoods, routing of highways to separate African Americans and white neighborhoods. But yet, you leave it to jackasses like Herschel Walker. Jackasses like Herschel Walker will tell you that, oh, there's no such thing as systemic racism in America. You leave it to fucking Diamond and Silk. Diamond and Silk, you know what I'm saying? Or cubic zirconia and polyester. They'll tell you that there's no such thing as systemic racism. Candace Owens, that mangy hyena who suffers from malnutrition, she'll tell you there's no such thing as systemic racism. I mean, yeah.
Motherfuckers that say some
Herschel Walker.
Like they stay eating
Herschel
crumbs
Walker
off the white man.
Jonathan Capehart. Well, we all know what Jonathan Capehart is about, you know, because in actuality, he did win. He's LGBT. So he won. He got his agenda when Joe Biden got elected president, right? Chicks with dicks can be in the same playing field as a natural born woman.
Mm.
How was that?
You got transgenders playing football with men.
So Christopher couldn't make it as a goddamn athlete, but Christina could make it as a female athlete, right? Steven couldn't make it on the track field with his male counterparts. Right, so let me get this straight. Steven can't make it on the track field with goddamn on his male counterparts, but Stephanie, she can be an excellent athlete with her female counterparts, right? Get the fuck out of here.
They'll jump through hoops. They'll jump through fire. They'll jump through anything else to do shit for other people. But when it comes to black people and their problems, they gotta waste paper and shit. They'll just do all types of other shit, but don't get to the actual fucking problem. You're making HR bills talking about studying reparations when you should just be cutting the fucking check. It's that fucking simple. Imagine if black people enslaved white people. And imagine hundreds of years later, right now, at this time, white people was asking for reparations. And imagine if black people being slave owners and owning white people. Would you think they'll hesitate to not actually give them their reparations with the quickness and to enforce laws saying that black people should be held accountable for enslaving white people if that actually happened?
Man, I don't get it, man. I just don't, man. Look, I just don't understand why is there a study for reparations, right? Why we even have a bill when other motherfuckers just got the check.
They want you to vote, though.
They just got the check cut off.
They want you to vote every 4 years.
They want you to vote for them, though. They want you to vote for them.
Get the booty. They'll have you in commercials being strippers and shit talking about get your ass out there and vote and shit. They'll have you with stank pussy ass bitches like Cardi B talking about you need to vote for Joe Biden. They'll have stupid motherfuckers like little pump faggot ass talking about make America great again, get your black ass out there and vote. But motherfuckers can't be out here actually doing something for black people, actually giving us our fucking money. But you motherfuckers want us to vote every 4 fucking years. I don't get that. If we don't get nothing in return, except a fucking good job, nigga, here's your sticker.
Mm-hmm. What you got to add, Sterling Young? What you got to add on all this?
Oh man, this is horrible. This is horrible, and this is disgrace. This is disgrace. Like that bill right there need to be ripped up. It need to be ripped up and deleted. Because this now you trying to cause problems because we trying to root for you. We trying to root for you, and then you turn your back on us by kissing, like I said, kissing the white man ass by joining them. It's like how about serving your own consequences? Because now we never gonna get justice. Because every time we trying to get justice, we always get fucked over. We always get fucked over on our justice. We never get our just due.
Yeah, man. I don't mean to take K-Ho shit.
Yeah, sir.
I'm not trying to take K-Ho shit. You know what I'm saying? That's his shit. All right. But the homie up in here, my motherfucking man, Too Raw for TV. What's up, homie?
What's up, bro? What's up, y'all? What's up, man?
Hey, I think you and I talked about this a little bit behind the scenes yesterday. But what you think about goddamn Herschel Walker running his mouth about black people not needing reparations?
No. I mean, let me see some. I think I'm getting feedback for some reason. Let me see.
Okay.
Well, first of all, Herschel Walker is a millionaire. You know, a multi-millionaire. So he don't really need that. Oh, he's not even looking for that. You know what I'm saying? He's not angry about slavery because he's a coon. He has a white man's mentality any fucking way. So he don't look at himself as like us. You know what I'm saying? He probably smiles when he look at stories of slavery and shit. So of course he's gonna have that viewpoint. But like y'all saying, you know, look, every other group in this country, when they get any type of discrimination, they're quick to pass laws. Like the law they passed as far as Asian Americans being discriminated against because of this virus, which was China's fault. But they said because they didn't have anything to do with it, okay, you can't discriminate against them. But we were enslaved for hundreds of years, and we never had anything legally done to justify that. Not financially. You know what I'm saying? They freed us, but they dragged their feet about giving us equal rights for 100 years. And even now, 50, 60 years after the civil rights bills, they still have loopholes to try to discriminate against us. Credit scores, the way that they draw up demographics as far as with banking is concerned. They still have all these different things they do to really shit on us still when it comes to discriminate against us. It's not an even playing field. All we asking for is something to even the playing field up a little bit, to give us a fighting chance, generally. Not everybody gonna be a fucking musician, not everybody gonna be an NBA player, not everybody's gonna be an entertainer. Excuse me. Not everybody's gonna be like that. We are kind of falling backwards in a lot of ways. So this is the one thing that we're asking them to do, and they keep talking about where it's gonna cause too much division. No, what it mean is it's gonna piss white people off. That's what you mean. Fuck them.
Dog whistles, man. We keep talking about dog whistles all the time. And
Sketchy Peasant.
And Sketchy Peasant, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all the heat that you've been dropping in this chat room. Now, he mentioned a book called The Color of Law. I don't know if you ever heard of that book too, Raw, but I'm going to look up that book. I'm going to look up that book and see what they were talking about. We gave a little bit of excerpt about what that book is about. It basically talks about the racial disparities that goes on between blacks and whites here in America, and through everything you said, through all the loopholes, through all the legislature, when it comes to the housing market, you know what I'm saying? How blacks get one set of rules, but whites get another set of rules, all that type of stuff, right? So I'm gonna buy that book. We're gonna talk about that book at great length.
I need to check that out too.
Yeah, but that HR 40 bill, right? So before you walked into Raw, I pulled up the HR 40 bill, right? They wanted to come up with this study and this coalition for reparations. So they wanted, this how they're gonna have a panel of 13 people, right? So 3 people are going to be appointed by Joe Biden. Another 3 people is going to be appointed by Nancy Pelosi. One person is going to get appointed by Patrick Leahy, and like the other, 6 people is going to be appointed by other measures. So we're asking people that opposes reparations now to be the same people that appointed a coalition of people to study reparations. What sense does that make to you two, Raw?
The same sense that the same people that off JFK were the same one that did the investigation into his murder. We already know what the answer is going to be at the end. We know. They're gonna be like, the funding isn't there. The logistics just not gonna work. They're gonna have some excuse at the end as to why they can't do it. But like we be saying this shit, but we can chip in and help with we can chip in and help the Holocaust survivors, but we had nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Tell the truth, too, Raw. Tell the
We had
truth.
nothing to do with that. I know that they don't like you to say, they don't like to hear us say that, but that was Germany. Okay, so why do we chip in and help? What was it, $700 million? You go ahead, bro.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised if it was $1 billion that they gave them motherfuckers, and that shit only lasted 2 years.
Yep, it only happened for 4 years, but they got reparations. We got shit happening in 400 years, and we need to have a study, right? These same people that is controlling the narrative. It'd be the same people we're asking look. Truth be told, we need to stop playing with these motherfuckers, man. It's not enough to put pressure on these bastards, right? All that is not enough. They're not trying to hear it, man. At the end of the day, these motherfuckers ain't trying to hear it. It's not like the message we're saying is not factual. These white supremacists just ain't trying to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't trying to hear the shit. But when the country be on some red done shit, y'all want to come run the black people talking about, oh, the country's in trouble. We need you niggas out there fighting. Nah, y'all did that shit.
Look at what the fuck is going on in Texas right now. Right? Jacob Jennings, you can attest to this. You're out there, right? That whole thing with the power and with the power grid being fucked up, and people not having water, people not having food, people not having nothing, right? People not having power for days. People catching hypothermia and dying in their car, in their home, wherever, right? Getting trees knocked up upon them, on top of them and shit, right? Your character is revealed in the face of adversity, right? And you had the one mayor, Tim Boyd, basically telling you survival of the fittest, right? The strong shall survive and the weak shall perish, right? And he ended up resigning as mayor after that ridiculous comment, right?
The hell is he, Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Man, he was quoting some Mobb Deep lyrics. What the hell
Jesus. That's some shit I would say on my channel.
You must have listened to Mobb Deep.
My bad, man.
He's the Texas mayor. I'm gonna pull this up.
Yeah, Texas.
Right? I'm gonna pull this motherfucker up.
He said only the strong will survive.
That's some shit Apocalypse would say, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
This ain't no damn purge. This ain't no damn purge and stuff. Like,
He said the stupidest shit, man.
yeah, like this ain't no damn purge. Nobody gonna
Look at this shit.
This ain't red done.
Texas
You
mayor
just-
resigns after telling residents these residents voted his trifling ass in the position he's in. Right? What's up, Omega Red? After telling residents desperate for power and heat, only the strong will survive. Right? Texas mayor resigned after seemingly telling residents to fend for themselves in a Facebook post amid a deadly and record-breaking winter storm that left much of the state without power. As then mayor of Colorado City, and that's not Colorado City, Colorado, it's actually Colorado City, Texas, right? Tim Boyd wrote an insensitive message for people desperate for heat, water, and power, saying only the strong survive and the weak shall perish. Man, that's the type of shit they say in hip-hop songs, right? He said, no one owes you or your family anything, nor is the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Then why the fuck we paying taxes then? If we owe you nothing, right? And it's not the government's responsibility to support you, then why the fuck are we paying taxes then? He goes on to say this: sink or swim is your choice. The city and county, along with providers, or any other service owes you nothing. I'm sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout.
That's what he said.
Yes. Okay. So
Yes.
he says this: if you don't have electricity, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I want y'all to. I'm gonna read this shit. What this motherfucker said. Boy, what's up, Neutral Natural? What's up, man? Salute to you. Right? Hey, man. Somebody show me some love in that Cash App and PayPal. All right. So if you don't have electricity, you step up and come up with a game plan to keep your family warm and safe. If you have no water, you deal without and think outside the box to survive and supply water to your family. If you're sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and you're sitting there waiting for someone to come rescue you because you're lazy, is the direct result of your raising. Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish. Folks, God has given us the tools to support ourselves in times like this. This is sadly a product of a socialist government where they feed people to believe that the few will work and the others will become dependent for handouts. Am I sorry that you have been dealing with electricity without electricity and water? Yes, but I'll be damned if I'm going to provide for anyone that is capable of doing it themselves. We have lost sight of those in need and those that take advantage of the system and mesh them into become one group. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for a damn handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family.
You know
What the
you
fuck?
Hey, LB, can I see what you look like?
Where is this motherfucker's handset, man?
Can I see what he looks like?
Look like, man?
Wait, too, what would you say?
Can I see what he looks like?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Tim,
want to know what this motherfucker look like.
He can't be black. He
No,
can't
he
be black.
Not black. Tim Boy is not black.
Oh,
Is he Republican?
He ain't black saying like that. They would have hung his ass already.
yeah, he Republican.
I figured that. You know what's funny? You know what's funny, y'all?
Yeah.
Most of the victims, I read a little bit about this. Most of the victims. Hey, look at this punk motherfucker.
That's the son bitch right there, y'all. That's the son bitch right there that was running his mouth about that shit.
He look like he took kids too. Look.
George Zimmerman, brother.
Yep, that's that motherfucker right there, y'all. Tim Boy.
Like he took little
right?
boys.
Shit, look at that hairline. Shit.
Most of the victims of what happened in Texas, I've read, the ones that have prolonged problems are poor and minorities.
Mm-hmm.
The more affluent, they got their power back on quicker, much quicker. So that's why he fucking talking like that. Oh, bitch ass, punk ass. Oh, yep. Boy, I don't want to say too much.
That right there? That right there, man. See, when it comes to character and times of adversity, it don't build character, it reveals it. And he reveals, and look, this is the thing. And all black people that live in these poor and impoverished neighborhoods, there are white people that live in these impoverished neighborhoods too. And they will get chewed up just as much as the black folks down there, because when it comes to preserving white supremacy, they will chew up their own to preserve white supremacy. They'll die for it, for crying out loud.
That's true.
Well, paying taxes, give me my motherfucking money then. If while we paying taxes, give my motherfucking money. Cause like mostly since his wife fired from a job and he lost his income as a mayor, they can now fend for themselves. Fucking tool.
But Herschel Walker though, that coon ass motherfucker, right? That coon ass motherfucker to the 10th power, go sit up there at a goddamn Zoom meeting with Sheila Jackson Lee, a goddamn immigrant, and gonna tell you that you don't deserve reparations. All those people that had, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of people in Texas in the middle of a goddamn major natural disaster and a pandemic. But Ted Cruz could get on a goddamn flight and take his ass to Cancun, Mexico. And then he tried to think he throws his daughters. He throws his own daughters under the bus. He throws his own daughters under the bus. Was like, well, my daughters had a tough week, and they wanted to go out and do something. So, they wanted to go to Cancun, Mexico, and like the good dad I am, we was going to take them down there, and as soon as they got back safe and sound, I was going to come right back to Texas and help the people out that's in need. Get the fuck out of here. Your itinerary told a completely different story.
He ain't coming back.
That motherfucker had no intentions of coming back. You had all the intentions
trying to get out
of
of
going to
Dodge.
Texas, having fun in the sun, your feet in the sand, you and your wife holding hands together, sipping on some damn Coronas.
Like the end of Trading Places.
Yeah. And then this what else he said that
These
really
motherfuckers, man.
Hey.
That's why I don't be on this voting shit.
And Too Raw and Eric Johnson and Sterling Young, this is another thing that made my pubic hair stand up, right? This motherfucker was on the plane, right? Oh yeah, then he left his dog behind. He left his dog out in the cold. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is Peter going after Ted Cruz about that?
Damn.
Right? Y'all were quick to grab Uncle Vic when he was dog fighting. He was quick to grab the Ted Cruz.
They could his dog in the cold. He wasn't even at home. He learned his mistake. He had learned a mistake. He did the time. Y'all white ass people still complain about him. Y'all, I remember they made what is thing called? What's this thing called? Donate money. Yeah, but what's that place when you donate money stuff? They trying to donate money for him to go to jail for dogs.
GoFundMe?
Yeah, they trying to go for me on Uncle Vic for the dogs.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking years ago. Like he did his time. He learned a mistake. Leave that man alone.
Man, they feel like a black person's never done enough time for punishment, man.
No, they never feel that. They never feel that way, man. And then
they doing it with the blacks.
So Ted Cruz, right? So Ted Cruz, old trifling ass, he gonna sit on the plane talk about, I had second thoughts when I was on the plane. So at what point did you have second thoughts, Ted Cruz? Did you have second thoughts when you were outed on social media? Is that when you had second thoughts? Or let you tell it, right? Hey, I was sitting on the seat of a very comfortable seat in first class at a United Airlines flight, and I closed my eyes and I had the receipt recline. And at that point right there, I was like, oh shit, I got to get back to Texas because people out there are hurting right now. And here I am on this comfortable ass airplane.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
You're right.
He was thinking about them bitches, man. He wasn't thinking about nobody.
He was thinking about all the ass he's going to see.
I'm going to get these senoritas. Fuck these niggas.
Hey, I had raindrops keep falling on my head. I'm gonna leave this 30-degree weather.
He's gonna be Diddy bopping in Mexico.
Hey, I'm gonna be in 30-degree. I'm gonna leave 30-degree weather and be 80-degree weather, and I'm gonna work remotely. Yeah. So let me get this straight. Where exactly did you have second thoughts about being on that plane? Oh, when you was out on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, that's when I would like to believe that's when he got this so-called second thoughts about coming back to the country. Okay. And then there's another thing, y'all. We in the middle of a pandemic. Goddamn, international travel is highly discouraged. So why did you go to goddamn Cancun, Mexico, Ted Cruz?
We all know why. We want to deal with that cold shit.
I'm too old for this.
This goes to show you how much these motherfuckers give two pieces of rat droppings about you. If it ain't Tim Boyd going on diatribe talking about the strong shall survive and the weak shall perish, and Ted Cruz like, man, fuck all this, man. I'm out of here.
Man.
But Herschel Walker don't want to give you reparations because, my heavenly fathers said, that how can I forgive my how can my heavenly father forgive me if I can't forgive my fellow brother? Yeah, the same fellow brother who's trying to kill you the first chance to get and hang you up on a fucking noose. Them the type of motherfuckers you trying to be forgiving towards? The fuck out of here.
I wonder in Herschel Walker's head, what color is his heavenly father?
White.
Yeah. Uncle
White.
Ruckus ass nigga.
White
on him. It plus I read.
the white man.
I know about the story. Like he just playing on. He just playing on dumb. Like I said, he don't know about slavery.
Yeah. And then he try to sound all intelligent, eloquent, talk about 23andMe. The same.
I'm like, you can't even read. Like, you wasn't even a good reader when you was a kid.
Yeah, 23andMe. You know where you can get 23andMe from? Walgreens. Okay.
Yes, cause like them same white people had root for you. They bullied you. Yeah, cause the same white people that bullied you, they was making fun of you. They was making fun of your reading.
That sounds like John Lewis. John Lewis getting his ass whooped from pillar to post. I spilled my blood, Selma. I'm gonna be forgiven despite the fact these same people I'm being forgiven for is kicking my ass from pillar to post.
Good trouble.
We didn't get some good trouble.
I'm like Malcolm.
Herschel,
I ain't never heard nobody getting in no good trouble and getting out of it.
Come on, you like I used to get made fun of these people. They bullied me because of my reading shit. Now you sticking up for them,
Yeah, come on, man. And look, I'm gonna tell you. Look, Herschel Walker is the prime example of controlled opposition. Right? He is controlled opposition. They called his ass up. What's up, Jay Smooth? Salute to you, homie. Damn right. Give us our fucking money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no goddamn study. What we studying about? What we studying? We studying how Kamala Harris, to the top. That's what we studying.
No damn math, just random numbers.
What we studying?
Know she was on her knees.
I don't need no goddamn reparations study. All right. You know, if I do a sleep study, okay? They put a thing on my hand and they put a thing around my finger, and I go to sleep at night, and they calculate how long I slept and how many times I toss and turn, and maybe how many times I beat off to a porno or some shit, right? But when it comes to reparations, we don't need no goddamn fucking study. And if you study anything about reparations, you need to study how you're going to cut the check. Should you use this white paper right here or this off-white paper? Should I use this black pen or should I use this blue pen? Should I write in cursive or should I write manuscript?
It's funny though. Didn't they give reparations?
They can write in fucking trail as long as I can see.
Didn't America give Asian Americans reparations for being interned during World War II in California?
Yeah, they gave the Japanese some money.
Right, because they were in internment camp.
I think they gave some Japanese people some money.
Right.
I don't know.
I'll just say Asian Americans. I think it was Asian Americans that were being targeted. So they gave them. I don't know. I can't remember I can't remember what the sum was, but I know it was some years back they gave them some type of reparations. But I don't know what it is. White people didn't get all off. White people didn't go crazy for that one. White people didn't say, "Oh, well, why should we give them money?" They were the enemy. They just said, "Okay." But for some reason, when black people ask for anything, a lot of white people get triggered.
And it's not like they can do it because this is the thing. When they passed that that virus relief, that pandemic relief package and all that, that money got sent straight to. They looked at your IRS, they look at your tax record, and they send the money right to your fucking bank account. So it's not like they can't do it. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't got the money, but they can send millions of dollars to foreign countries and shit.
Yeah, they can send money to
Bangladesh. Doing that. They sending money to the Middle East, even though them motherfuckers want to chop your head off.
Yeah, they can send money to Bangladesh. Hell, some people in these impoverished
don't even like America.
Some of these people in this impoverished community can't even spell Bangladesh, let alone pronounce Bangladesh. And I'm not trying to be funny about that shit, but that's exactly what's going on. People here are struggling. People here are starving. People here are desperate for relief. And all you can give them is $600. That's like an hour with a high-end escort. You got politicians that spent more money than that on escorts on a given night. Ask Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
Fresh spent more money on that on spilled liquor than that.
Yeah. Gavin Newsom, the governor out there in California, he telling you you can't go to a restaurant or whatever like that. This motherfucker at a goddamn restaurant, no mask on, with his constituents at a birthday party, right? Yucking it up, taking pictures of having a good old time. And just like Eric Johnson said, they spend more money on spilled liquor than what them cooks back there cooking their food make.
Yep.
Hey, I only make $8.50 an hour when I'm trying to make this exquisite 5-star French bread, but yet these motherfuckers spend $300 on goddamn Dom Perignon.
Yep. Yeah.
And yes,
Giving money to foreign countries, they'll blow your ass up.
yeah.
Remember when Nancy Pelosi was
When she was like
right. But she was telling everybody else to stay home.
yeah. And what she do? She got busted trying to go to a goddamn beauty salon. Now, mind you, Miss Nancy Pelosi looked like a Mrs. Potato Head, got fake nails,
Yeah.
fake hair, fake eyes, fake teeth, fake pussy, fake titties, everything else. Just running around here like an 80-year-old Barbie doll. She telling you to stay home. Meanwhile, back in the motherfucking ranch, she can take her trifling ass to a goddamn beauty salon. I need my hair. I need my hair done, because I got a very important meeting here at tomorrow, and I got to look really good for the press. But let a Bama like Herschel Walker come on TV, and he want to, quote Bible scriptures, and he want to get all biblical towards you and all that, like he's some goddamn preacher. How can my Heavenly Father forgive me if I can't forgive my brother?
Oh, you know what?
Fuck
Shout out to Jay's perspective. He make a good point. The United States can give $10 billion a year to Israel.
Yeah. They're not the only country that's getting money though, bro. They giving money out, but yeah, Israel. We all know what that's all about, right? They trying to protect Israel because, man, look.
They want the opium.
Israel's got extra money relief. Gay people got reparations. So let me get this straight. How does getting a dick in your ass, right? Or getting kicked out of a restaurant because, I'm just happen to be a little bit of Fruity Pebbles, worse than someone that's got beaten, whipped, and chained and all that?
In reality,
you got to do it, Andrew Dillon, just to get some reparations. Damn.
In reality, they look at us as less than people, less than them, not equals. So it's like when you're a racist, or you just look at whoever. When you look at somebody as inferior, you don't value them. So it's like they look at it like, well, we freed you, animals. What else do you want? You're not in bondage anymore. Go run away and scourge. Do something. What? Money? Get out of here. I'm not giving you any money. But other people, they get what they want. They don't look at us as the same. They don't look at us as equals. So that's why I don't vote no more.
And then another thing too, brought up. Another point Jesus brought up. A lot of people be for the schools, but schools keep closing. Well, the schools that keep closing are the ones in black communities, because these charter schools steal money from motherfuckers all the time, and they're still open, right?
Yeah.
And this is another thing about the last video I did, right? Because I saw that YouTube didn't get my notification. So for everybody that was in this room right now, check the video I did about all these teachers that's running around here sexually assaulting these students. These students getting involved in sexual misconduct by these teachers.
Ooh. I've been there before. I've been there. I happened in my school. I remember that day. Yeah, cause I'm gonna tell you. I remember I was in a basketball practice and I looked outside. It was like news. It was like 7. It was like five news. So I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? Like, so then my basketball coach, he said they had a teachers meeting and they said, no teacher had sex with a student and sex with a student. And the mother had looked in a diary. She had wrote a diary about this teacher and having describing the sex and that she's pregnant. Like maybe she's pregnant.
Whoa!
She's a middle schooler, so
she got pregnant.
Yes. It was on the news. Cause
How old you was?
Huh? She was in middle school. She was probably like 13, 14.
I'm saying, how old you was?
Yeah,
how old was the victim?
Dude, nasty.
13 or 14.
I'm saying they nasty doing shit like that to kids. So.
She was in
I
middle
remember.
school.
I remember.
She liked them. And no, because I'm gonna tell you, while this happened, they was about the lunch break. So while we was in lunch, this girl went up. They had sex in the homeroom while we all in lunch. They had sex in the class and went on lunch. It was crazy. It was crazy.
This was middle school?
Yes, because I was in high school. It was a high school and middle school.
So was the victim a boy or a girl?
A girl.
I remember when I was in middle school, right? Our basketball assistant coach, I think at the time he was like in his late 30s. When we were in high school, which was right next to the middle school I went to John Marshall High School in Richmond. The middle school where he was at was Henderson Middle School. We found out a little later on that he got fired because he was having sex with 8th grade girls and some of the high school girls that were right next door. So they fired his ass and he went to jail for a couple of years. And then come to find out, I think it was like 1999, he died in a, drunk driving accident.
Yeah, he can help Herman Cain make all the Godfather's pizzas in hell, for all I care.
And Rush is right there too. Rush is right there delivering.
He said, "How the hell he still?"
Damn right. And Herman Cain, I'm still wearing the. I still need
making
you.
a damn tweet.
I still need you to stop making those Godfather's pizza and answer my question. How are you still tweeting from the afterlife? Huh? How are you tweeting from the afterlife? I'm still trying to figure that one out. Hey. Shout out to Kevin Whitterburn in the building. I had to shout you out earlier, man. Yeah, man. But men teachers aren't the only ones out there, trying to get bunky with, minors and all that. You have female teachers doing the same thing too. If you check out the last video I did before we did this one, I laid out the litany of cases, and majority of them were white.
Whites, well, no blacks, is whites.
No, I'm not saying that. No, there's some black.
Yeah. Yes, but mostly 9 out of 10 is whites.
Yeah, because I remember this black teacher out in Houston a few years ago. So one of her high school students had a birthday. It was his birthday that day. She had him sit up in the front of the class and she did a lap dance in front of the fucking students on the kid on his birthday. That was his birthday present. Yeah, let me get a black girl looking like goddamn Predator. If you look at her hair, it's just like Predator. Or like had no hair except for the braids that was connected to the fucking hair by the little strands it had left. And she's out there, let me show you how mama do it when I was 20 years old. She was 45. Doing lap dance on a 15-year-old because it was his birthday. There was a black woman that did that. She got put in jail for that.
Man, what happened to the days when we had the teachers that looked like Aunt B or, Harriet Winslow from Family Matters? They look like teachers. Like now we got these scallywags.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had the only teacher I had anywhere look even remotely close to looking good was this lady named Sandra Dingle, right? She wanted to be called Dr. Dingle, and I tried to, I'm like, she reminded me of Jack A off of goddamn 227 by the way she dressed, by the way she acted, by the way she carried herself, right? That was the only woman that was even remotely attractive. All these other women were fucking old hags and shit.
I had one that I liked though. I had one. She wasn't a model, but she was very chesty. If you catch my drift, very chesty. Yeah, Miss Peters. But like you said, most of them they weren't like.
I had one in high school too.
Yeah, because you might never. Yeah, because that's one thing about it. Because you might never know until you hear these rumors. To you, these rumors from students like, the teacher did this, teacher did that, do that.
But they out of control now, though, bro. Like the one where the woman was masturbating in front of her class.
Yeah.
I mean, I never heard
that like that before. That woman out there rubbing pussy in front of the students.
Like, come on, man.
That was a dude.
No, there was a woman. She filmed herself on a live stream, rubbing pussy in front of the students. This was a woman that did this, y'all.
They had a substitute teacher doing it too.
I bet her shit was stink too.
What is you doing? Shit. What are you doing, bro? I just came to do work, not this.
Yeah, y'all gotta end this thing, man, because I gotta take care of some business, man. But I appreciate y'all for being up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't going nowhere. Herschel Walker, get a foot put in your ass, motherfucker. This your boy. Scream at me. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, make sure you subscribe to Too Raw for TV. Make sure you go subscribe to Too Raw for TV. And also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel, man. I really do appreciate it, man. This your boy. Scream at me.